Hello everybody, this is First Y First RC, and today I'm going to be showing you how to upgrade your differential, your front and rear differential gear, like the ring gear, the pinion gear, and how to maintain them as well. And also I'm going to be replacing my rear ring gear because mine got stripped. I was running them on 3S. It was so epic. But it seems that the stock ring gear is not really, well, it works with 3S, but like I wouldn't really recommend running them too hard on a 3S because they tend to strip a lot. I hear that some people even strip them on 2S, their ring gears and their pinion gears. This is not the motor gears, I'll show you them. So yeah, you should be a bit careful, and you should consider maintaining them regularly. Well, not regularly, I'd say like once every like month or 2 months, or if you if it got really messy, then every like after you do a run or something, if it's really messy. Yeah, or else you're going to strip your ring gears. I've actually went through 3 of them. I could show them all to you. I have 2 in the bag there. I took them from my Summit, and yeah, I had to get a new one. So I'm just going to explain the procedure quickly in case you just want to hear what it is and then just go do it, or you can watch the rest of the video and watch me do it. So just to explain quickly, you're going to need, you don't need a drill. I'm just going to use a drill, just it's quicker to take all the screws out. You're going to need your tracks, the tools that Traxxas provide you, or your own L wrenches. I have my own L wrenches, they're better quality. And you're going to need differential lube. I will explain a little bit more about differential lube in a second. You're going to need, this is an upgrade that you should do if you're going to run on 3S, or I would even say 2S, because I hear that it also strips on 2S. You should need to get some SHIMS, a SHIMS set for your differential. They look like this. For this car, I'd really highly recommend this SHIMS set. It's team associated SHIMS set .324x.409x.005. I will explain more right after this. And in my case, I'm going to need a new differential and pinion gear because mine is stripped. Alrighty, so now let me explain a little bit about diff lube. So this is actually from Traxxas. Now, diff lube comes in many different weights. There's like 10K, 30K, 40K, 50K, 60K, 70K, 80K. I think it was like 2,000 or something. It's crazy. 1,000K. No, it doesn't go to 1,000K. 100K. So that's like 100,000. Because K is 1,000. So this is like 30,000, basically. That's the weight, 30,000. Now, what's the difference? Now, I'm just going to tell you, most people, I think, also stock, it's just 30, 30, and 10, or stock, I don't know. There's supposed to be one in the middle, I think it goes in here, but I have none in there. It's just completely dry. I would recommend just not putting anything in there, just leave it alone. But for this and this, I'm going to be doing 30 and 30. So yeah, usually it's just 30, 30, and 0 or 10, something like that. But let me explain what's the difference. So the lighter is the less resistance. Let me explain what the differential does. What the differential does is, well, it's connected to the pinion, right? And the pinion spins it, and the wheels spin, right? But if one of the wheels get stuck, like that will stop spinning, but the other side will spin. Or, yeah, that's basically what happens. Or if it gets stuck, or if it gets less, it has more resistance on one tire than the other. So like the other tire will spin fast, but the other tire won't spin as fast. It's like precaution, that way you don't like break something. That's basically what it is. Also for stabilization issues and stuff like that. And also so that if you lose one, it'll be 3-wheel drive or something like that. But so the thicker, the thinner, the less resistance that's going to be the less resistance the gears inside the differential gear is going, like inside the differential, is going to have that less resistance. And if your tire gets like a little bit stuck, it will stop moving, and the other tire will move by itself. But if it's thicker, the more resistance it's going to have, and the tire won't stop moving until there is more resistance on the tire. Hope that made sense to everybody. Made sense to me. Well, it didn't really. It did make sense though. Yeah, it made sense. It makes sense. It's just so hard to explain in a quick manner. I'm just trying to explain it in a way that most people would understand. If you followed me, like really followed me, then you probably understand as well. So yeah, 30K would be like the middle for this car, for 1/16 scale. 30K. Some people do their rear 50K and their front 30K. That way, the wheel stops turning, but when there's more resistance on the tire. I'd recommend 30K, and I would also recommend 50K. There's nothing wrong with either. You can go 100K if you want, but that's really overdoing it. Yeah, so that's it for this one. Now, the shim sets. Now, what are shims? Well, they're very thin metal circles, obviously. What do they do? Well, where do you put them? You put them so you take off your, so wait, 1 second. Diff lube goes inside, sorry, I'm mixing things up now. Diff lube goes inside the differential gear. It goes inside the differential. So you take out the differential out of the bulkhead, you open the differential, you take the thing off the ring gear, and you put you fill it up like 1/3 of it, 1/3 or 3/4 of the differential with the diff lube. So I think that covered the diff lube. You know what to do with it now. So the shim sets. So where do you put them? So when you take the differential gear off, you're gonna see there's two like axle connectors, I'll call them, sticking out of the diff. It's part of the diff. So you're gonna slide these onto it, either right onto it or behind. Yeah, right onto it, and then you're gonna put the ring that goes on the diff. That's on the diff. So like there's a ring on it. You're gonna take that off. You're gonna put the shim on. Then you're gonna put that ring on. Then you'll put it back in the diff, basically, back in the bulkhead. So that's what it is. Basically, it's presses the ring gear and the pinion gear harder together, so it reduces the stripping. Because the plastic on the bulkhead, it bends a little. What you can do is, if you're going to run the 3S a lot, is you can buy a metal bulkhead. But I wouldn't. Yeah, you could buy a metal bulkhead, but there's a pro and a con about it, right? The pro is you're not going to strip your gear. The con is that you're going to break. The pressure is going to be on your chassis, which, yeah, exactly. So unless you can afford another chassis, go ahead. But seriously, the ring gear is very inexpensive. It's just $9. So yeah, so that's the shim sets. Oh yes, and you could also put the shim set on the pinion gear as well to push it harder against the ring gear. It depends which one's loose. Usually, it's the ring gear that's a bit the differential that's a bit loose. The ring gear that's a bit loose. Anyways, so now you know what to do. I'm not going to explain how you open it up and everything, because that's just simple. You just unscrew everything. I'll unscrew everything now. This will be in fast motion like most of my videos. Just me taking everything apart. Then I'll show in more detail when I am applying the diff lube and switching the ring gear and putting the shims and putting it back together. Well, actually, I will show you me taking it apart. That's it. So, yeah, let's get started. You don't have to use a drill, but I do recommend using one. Just attach your L wrench to it. Put the camera closer so that you can see. I just wanted to mention about the diffs. This is the reason why you need the diffs. So if you look carefully, here we go. As you can see here, this ring gear is moving. See how it's moving inside the bulkhead? Even when it's tight, it has a little bit of movement, like there's a little bit of space for it to move. And that's what causes it to strip. And that's why you need the diffs to be over here so then it won't move. Of course, you'll still have a bit of movement, but it won't be as much. Alright, so now that I've removed the bulkheads from the rest of the assembly, I also moved the camera a bit closer so you can see, well, way closer. Now we're going to open these up and maintain them, fix them, whatever you want to call it. So this is the one with this is the front assembly, and this is the rear assembly. And I'm going to be replacing this one with the new one from the Summits. Other than that, it's in better condition. There's also a slight difference in the design, I think. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm mistaken. Can't really tell. But I'll be using it anyways. So. Now, so how do we open this? You're going to need your L wrench. You're just going to unscrew this screw here. I'm just going to see if the angle of the camera is good. So basically my limit's like, sort of like, okay. So you have to unscrew the screw inside here. Just remember what side the ring gear is on. It's on the right side. If you face this, like the end here towards you and the end here towards you, the ring gear is always on the right side. Just letting you know so you don't get mixed up. Because if you put it the other way, if you put it on the left side, like you switch it around, they're going to oppose each other. So, yeah, this is the. This is the rear, this is the front. Okay, I'm going to do the rear first because I have to replace the ring gear. And I have to put the SHIMS. I don't know whether I'm going to, it depends. I might put SHIMS on the front or I might not. It depends whether I need two for this or not. It depends. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be using any for the front. I'm just going to be using it for the rear one. And I've got my diff lube. So, yeah, I'm sort of ready. Ready to do this thing. It's the rear one that was causing the trouble anyways, because all the pressure's on the rear differential when you're driving a 3S LiPo. Now, yeah, we need to clean these. So just clean this with water. Get some WD-40 if you want, just to get all the grease out of there. Oh, by the way, you do need grease. You don't need grease, but you could use grease on the ring gear after you're finished cleaning it, just to lubricate it. Or you could just run it dry. It doesn't really matter. Greasing it, well, I don't want to say it doesn't help the performance, but I don't know. I don't know exactly why I need grease, but the benefit of not putting grease is when you run in a sandy area or something, the sand will get stuck on here. So yeah, there's a benefit with grease. I'm not sure exactly what it is, and there's a benefit to not have grease on it, which is called running it dry. Let me just remember. Yeah, now I remember. You have to have grease so that it doesn't strip the gears against the pinion gear. But since we're putting shims and it's going to be pressed closer together, you don't really need that. And besides, I was running it with grease and it still stripped. So seriously, there's no point with the grease. I mean, if you're running on a 3S lipo, so it's just better you put shims, run it dry. That's it. So anyways. So I'm going to be replacing this. So just wash all of these. I'll wash them, not here, I'll wash them in the bathroom and then I'll be back with them. But first I'm going to be replacing this and putting diff lube inside it. Alrighty. You're going to need a very small L wrench. And you're just going to unscrew these three. And, no, sorry, these aren't screws. You're just going to unscrew these three here. There we go. I'm just going to, you can just take this off. And there is, the whatchamacallit gear. Sun gear, something like that. Here's the other one. And as you could see here, it does have some lube in it, but it's actually quite dry. Quite dry. Anyways, make sure you have your waterproof seals. Make sure they're on right. Like that. And we'll put these to the side. Now this is the part we're replacing, but we have to take these gears out. So I'll get my pliers and just push them through. And that's it. Yeah, I'm nearly bone dry. So this is my stripped one. Put this to the side. Like way to the side because that's stripped. And we'll get my new one. Alrighty. And we'll put the gears, these little gears, back in. A bit tricky. Actually, no, sorry. What you should do, actually, it's smart to this goes on the side. Put this on first at the back here. Make sure the seal's on correctly. And now put your smokers in. And last one. Just gonna show you closer up. So I just grip it like this. I push this in a little. Oops, that's a bit too much. And then it goes in this way. There you go. See how smooth that went in? See how it works? Alrighty. Don't need that anymore. Now, next up, diff lube. We're gonna fill this thing up with 30K so it runs nice and smooth. And I'm just gonna see if the camera's still in a good angle. Yeah, that's fine. Now we're gonna open this up. It comes with 2 lids. This lid is for actually you have to cut it open. You have to just cut a piece off it. So it's open. Now just tear this off. Yeah, that should do it. Now, just gonna, you could use this to cover it up. Yeah. So, now, don't want to fill it up all the way. Just fill it up to there. Like that's good. Like almost above, like not exactly above, but almost above these 3 little gears here. But that's all. No need to go further than that. So when you put this in, it's going to press against the gears anyway, so yeah, you see that? So there we go. Now we're just going to screw it back on. Remember to make sure that your seals are on. Now that said, I'm going to run this dry. So I might go wash it. And that's it. Not going to put anything on this. I might use some motor oil. I don't know. You could use motor oil. Anything just to lubricate it, really. Grease, motor oil, whatever. Thick motor oil. Yeah, so this was bone dry. This is all lubricated. Awesome. Now, I showed you how to do it. I'm just going to do my other one. Well, I'm going to put this one back together. Oh yes, the SHIMS. Now, let's do the SHIMS. Now, you could use the SHIMS on the ring gear and on the pinion as well. Actually, I'm going to replace this pinion. Just, where's, oh, here it is. Because this is worn out completely. Like, this is completely worn out. So, yeah. Replacing the pinion's easy. You just unscrew this here. And take this out. You're going to need these rings here. That's worn out. Possibly even stripped. And I'm just going to put the new one in. Oh yes. So the SHIMS. So actually, so you could put it on the rings, the ring gear and the pinion gear. I'm going to put one on the pinion gear as well because I realized that it was a bit loose. So Oh, these are the wrong size for the pinion gear. I bought the ones for the ring gear. Oh well. So I guess I'm not going to be able to put one on the pinion gear, but it doesn't really matter. What really matters is the ring gear. So for the ring gear, I'm actually going to have to clean this first. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean this, and then I'll be back with you. Alright. I cleaned it. Not as thoroughly as I would have if it was morning, but I'm sort of tired, so I'm just going to get this over with. So I'll start with one for each side. See if it makes a difference. As you can see, it fits like perfectly, literally perfectly. And if I need another one on each side, I'll use another one on each side. We'll see now. Like, it fits really, really perfectly there. Means I got the right size. So you're just going to squeeze those sides. See if there's any way it can move. Tip I like to give for this. Take your where is it? Here it is. Bring the blue thing that you put on the front, well, on the back in this case. Just press it there, then press the other end. See if the ring gear has any movement at all. And as I can see here, there is absolutely none. So that means I could use these two for the front assembly. So I'll even be able to shim the front assembly, which is awesome, which is really awesome. So that means I'll have so it'll be foolproof finally. Awesome. So we're done with the rear assembly. I could just tighten it up. Again, just the screw here. Oh wait, 1 second. We'll see. So, to test it out, you're going to need to screw it back together. Yes, I know. I see a difference. I noticed a difference. It's a bit tighter than before. Much less chance of this stripping. Perfect. So I could use the other two. I don't want it tighter than this, or I could overheat the motor. But I do notice that it's tighter. It's much tighter, which is what I wanted. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing I did with this, with the front assembly. Unless we're switching the ring gear, because I don't need to. Alrighty. So I clean everything really well, and now I'm going to be putting some lube in this differential gear. See the condition of it first. Maybe I won't need to, maybe I will need to. Most likely I will. Screws are a bit wet, so that's a fine sign. there's at least some lube in here. Let's see. Whoa, this is really dry. Check that out. That's as dry as you get. This definitely needs some lube. Remember, don't fill it all the way. Just fill it 2/3 or 3/4. Between a half and full, basically. There, that should be enough. Now I just need to rescrew this. To make sure it's good. Same procedure. I broke it because I drilled too hard. This bulkhead's ruined. Yeah, so FYI, don't use the drill so hard. Lower its power or be really careful, or plastics are going to end up broken. Oh man. I guess this bulkhead's out of life. Just use the old bulkhead then. Nothing wrong with it anyways. I'm going to be careful when I drill, when I use the drill. Okay, yeah, definitely be careful with the drill if you're using one. Now, finally, we're done. Just have to put everything back together and have a nice day. So I'm going to put everything together in fast motion. I'll be back with you. Alrighty, all fixed. I actually got some new wrenches. Well, some old wrenches I found. Gonna replace them with the ones I use, because mine are totally worn out. Yeah, I definitely advise that when you use a drill to be really careful. Put it on a really low setting. That way you don't strip your screws and your L-wrench. Now, I could feel a big difference, big difference. Even if I take off the motor, I could still feel a huge difference. There, nice and smooth, and tighter than it was, which is what we wanted. Now I'll just turn it on, battery. It's in storage mode, so can't really drive with it, but Test it out. The steering is still in order. And it works. Whew, smoke. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, just comment in the box below or email me at at Yusuf at yfairs12356@gmail.com. Just the link. And yeah, thanks for watching everybody. Goodbye and good luck. I'm gonna get ready to go for a run. I mean, you're gonna get ready to go for a run. I'm not gonna do the run. Now, take this. I'm not gonna put the lid on. I'm just gonna drive it nice and airy-ish. Charge these. Hello everybody, this is Yusuf at WHEELIE Studios. Today I'm going to be... Is there a chair here? No, there isn't. Whatever. Today I'm going to be showing you how to... I thought there was a chair here.